We just entered Nebraska. We're over here going to Dakota City to the Tyson plant. Gonna pick up this chicken. It took 2 days to load this damn truck, well, this trailer. And I'm just now getting the confirmation that it's ready to go. So are we. Yeah, we right on the border of Iowa and Nebraska. Take a little trip to the Bronx. Go where you at? Where you at? This trail ain't getting cracking. There we go. Alright, let's go scale out. Back to work, baby. Let's get it. Let's go scale out. First stop, Vineland, New Jersey.
Why are you fooling people by saying car insurance is $39? That's straight up bullshit. I trust my agent and...
Blacked out, you don't remember anything. Shoot, maybe you don't even know how you got home. Maybe you did some things you later regret. Maybe that wasn't even you. Did you ever stop and think about who was operating your vehicle if you weren't even conscious?
Wait. Hold up. That liquor get in your system and you lose all consciousness. That's why you can't remember nothing that you did when you wake up the next day. And if you lucky, you probably wake up in your own bed and not in another man's bed, or at worst, in a jailhouse bed from a DUI charge from the night before. Think about what I'm saying. That alcohol is a spiritual substance. That's why every store that sell it call it spirits. Carry on.
Of the word alcohol, from the Arabic term al-ghul, or body-eating spirit. It's also the origin where we get the word ghul.
Stop that shit. Wait, so this alcohol word comes from the Arabic word ghul or some shit like that. He said ghul, which means body-eating spirit. And this shit is legally sold in stores. Somebody comment below, did you ever think what's going on? Because they calling it exactly what it is, a body-eating spiritual drink that causes all kind of mental and health issues. Interesting. Carry on.
Look, when you're intoxicated, you're opening up your soul essence. So look, we all know alcohol lowers your inhibitions. And a lot of people use it as a social lubricant because it allows them to be more confident. But in the same breath, it also leaves your etheric system more energetically open. Your auric defense is now on the low, and negative entities can and will take over. Why do you think we call certain alcohol spirits? And then we also...
Stop it right there. So when hard liquor enter your system, when you take a shot of that liquor and it get in your system, it penetrates your mind and then control your spirit by enabling the inner you to come out. Like the things a sober mind can't say, it will say under the influence of alcohol or cool of that shit he just said. And the people that be shy and quiet when they sober turn into loud and wild people with that goddamn cup in their hand. And the people that are non-violent, I'm talking about the people that won't fight, they choose violence when they get drunk. Think about what I'm saying. It all starts with a cup of liquor, and that's crazy. Carry on.
Then we also have gin, which is a gin, or another Arabic word for a type of spirit that can manipulate humans. It's also where we get the word genie. Look,
Wait, stop. What he just said? Y'all heard what he said with that term jinn stand for? Jinn, shot a jinn. Let me get a hit of the jinn. Pull me some jinn. All that shit come from the Arabic term, a spirit that can manipulate humans. And that's where they get the word genie from, which comes out of a goddamn bottle. Just like Aladdin, that movie Aladdin, the genie come out of the bottle. That's a symbolic message, meaning whatever you thinking will become your reality when you drink up out this goddamn bottle. And this is why our drunk uncles be acting like this. That's why auntie them get drunk and they act like this. Because they ain't got control of their goddamn spirit. And that's why all these people take a shot of gin and get on straight demon time. You never see somebody get drunk and become a nice, happy person. You always see a drunk person turn into a person that unless you drunk with them, you probably don't want to be around them while they're intoxicated because they acting a different kind of way. Carry on.
our bodies are spiritual vehicles, and if you're not operating that vehicle, something else can take you over. And that's exactly how people black out. That dark entity attached itself to you and took you out for a joyride. We've all seen it, where somebody gets mad, belligerent, angry, they start getting out of control, screaming, fighting. What do you think that is? That is literally a demonic possession. And we say,
stop this shit. So that's the demonic spirit taking control over the vulnerable and turning them into a villain. So many people in prison right now, because they got drunk and shot somebody and they ain't even mean it. Somebody just stepped on their shoe and they were just, man, I'm drunk. Boom. So many people right now just driving to make it home from the goddamn club and hit somebody's child. Now they in prison with a DUI and a goddamn vehicle homicide. Think about what I'm saying. Or even worse, so many women out here who quote uncurable diseases because they got drunk and laid up in a sick man bed. It go on. Carry on.
belligerent, angry, they start getting out of control, screaming, fighting. What do you think that is? That is literally a demonic possession. And we see it in alcoholics all the time, where the consumption of alcohol literally leads to the consumption of the human body and the consumption of the human spirit.
Stop that shit. Again, liver cancer, pancreatic cancer, Alzheimer's, and so many other diseases come from heavy consumption of liquor. If you having a drink, a Don Julio every goddamn day, or a shot of Hennessy, or a shot of gin, like y'all said, let me get a shot of gin, I just came home from work. You put yourself at risk for organ failure. Consumption of alcohol is definitely consumption of the body. Carry on.
Now, I want to say alcohol in its original sense is evil because it was originally used as rituals, rites, ceremonies, etc. But today, you should know that the alcohol industry is procured by some of the most elite Satanists like the Rothschild dynasty. We only see a small percentage of the physical spectrum, and there are multiple forces working behind the scenes, and just because you can't see them doesn't mean they can't affect you. Wake up to the world around you, and you'll realize that we live inside an ancient religious cult schooled in these black magic arts. Now you know the reason why they've got a liquor store on every corner.
Stop that shit. The elites of the world is so evil that they created legal substances. They created laws to patrol and control those that overuse the bottles that they created. This is crazy. And if you think about it, you only see liquor stores in the hood, not in the suburbs. That's by design, not mistake. They trying to get our people to be drunks so they can control their spirit and send them to prison for poor decisions. Or even worse, send them to the morgue for initiating their own death. Now, after watching all this information, would you still be getting drunk this weekend? Or is this the end of your relationship with alcohol? Comment below, like this video, make sure you share this with somebody and tag somebody that you get, tag your drinking partner in the goddamn comment. Make sure you hit that follow button too. Drinking partner, hit the follow button too. I got some more shit coming for your drunk ass. Y'all comment below, like this video, right? Make sure you share it, goddamn it. Mind your business.
I would have withdrawals. Like if I couldn't drink, if I didn't make it to the liquor store on Saturday night, that was before they were serving it on Sundays. If I didn't have it by Saturday night, I was going insane Sunday. Like, and here's the thing, people think alcoholism is a sickness. Alcoholism is a demon. It is demonic. There was an unclean spirit that would throw me and convulse into fits and rages. Like, I remember blacking
Hitting
out.
the
That thing
scales.
would consume me till I was unrecognizable.
Every time you see a person drinking, they turn to something different. Like, damn, what energy is that? Like, the spirits do take over you when you drink. It can become demonic. You know what I'm saying? Voodoo utilizes liquor for a reason, because you get into that spirit, and when you got that portal open, then, you know, those energies can enter you. You feel me? Like, you don't even recognize them no more. Like, they spirit has shifted and changed. Person be on drugs and it's like, that ain't my friend. That ain't the homie. That ain't my brother. That ain't my sister. That ain't my father. That ain't my mother. That ain't my uncle. That ain't my auntie. Like, damn, who is this in you? You feel me? And we don't have enough spiritual conversations around these things to understand how those energies are affecting us. And so we gotta cleanse our spirit. Otherwise, we have these gateways and we have these portals that are open, right? That enter us and control us. So we be caught up in these spirits and we be operating like little demons. You go on the block, people will tell you, I'm on demon time. Yes, you're not on God time. Now all you can do is be controlled and ruled by Lord, by shame, by guilt, by lust. So when we talk about our culture, like what percentage of us are on these drugs that are caught up in these spirits that we can't even trust?
Listen, are you find yourself exhausted, working every day, trying to do everything right? You know, you went to school, you got your education, worked hard, maybe you got to hustle on the side, just...
Just wait 1 second. If that's somebody telling you not to hang up. Don't put in any more money. They are scamming you.
Okay, so this is the guy that tried to defraud us.
My father, he's 67 years old. He was just scammed out of his life savings. Just under 400 grand. I can't even believe it.
Okay, so today we got yet another addition to the scam series. The first of many in 2026, unfortunately. But the scammers aren't stopping, so I'll keep making these videos. I don't want this intro to be too long because I found a ton of clips to go over along with comments from you guys. Videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below. But let's jump right into one of the worst stories that I've heard so far.
Today was one of the roughest days I've ever had. My father, he's 67 years old. He was just scammed out of his life savings. Just under 400 grand. I can't even believe it. He was giving me a ride down the street today, and you know, we were just chatting, and he said his identity had been stolen, and that the IRS and the FBI were helping him to recover his identity and protect him from the downfalls of having your identity stolen. He continued to tell me that these scammers told him that the only way to protect his money, he had saved up a large retirement for himself. The only way to protect that money from these people, supposed people who had stolen his identity, were to liquidate all of his assets, buy gold bars, and hand these gold bars off to some people, some strangers who claim they're from the government, put it in a special account, and then once his identity has been protected, he'll get that money back.
Okay, so this clip is much longer, but you could probably guess that he was not talking to the IRS or the government at all, just a bunch of scammers. And he just gave away his entire life savings, in the form of precious metals as well, apparently gold bars, and that's how $400,000 evaporates in a blink of an eye. We have a comment from you guys right here. My sister and I have stopped my mom so many times from giving out her personal information to somebody because they said her account's been hacked, or she's about to lose access on her files, on her computer, or whatever other reason. I told her if she doesn't start using some common sense, we're gonna take away her internet access. We'll see a few more examples with the older generation getting scammed. I mean, we just saw it. He was 67, thinking that he was talking to somebody in the government. He clearly wasn't. Oh man, this is gonna be rough.
Part 3 of LA Fine Dining is a scam and I'm done pretending. If you've been following along with this story, you probably already know about our sad piece of beef Wellington that we got for $140. Now, this is what they served us as our dessert.
Favorite is the best part.
We gotta get that's fucked up.
After the very disappointing main course and the main reason why we booked this place for the beef Wellington, they had the audacity to serve us these 99-cent store pickup cookies. These cookies were so stale I wouldn't even serve them to my dog. Imagine paying $300 for a meal expecting fine dining and getting garbage food served on pretty plates.
Okay, so at least for me, I just don't understand fine dining. It doesn't matter if I had $100 million. You cannot tell me that a piece of steak that's $100, $200 is really that much better than most other restaurants. I bet it does taste good. I wouldn't argue that the quality would be better than going to Applebee's, but just the insane inflated price, and they didn't even get that in this clip. Terrible beef Wellington and then just a stale cookie at the end. $140 a person. Sounds like a scam to me. We can go over to the comments. The Culver Hotel is a scam on so many levels. So sad that they did this to you. Cheesecake Factory would never. Goes pretty well with a video that I made recently talking about restaurants being wildly overpriced, and that also includes any of the high-end or fine dining.
All right, there's something called port outing. It's a scam that they do. It's where they take your phone number and they make it their phone number and they can be you, bro. And they do this all just so they can access your Google, your bank accounts, your Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, whatever it is that you got, dog. That's what they're trying to get into, using your phone number. So let me tell you where it all began. All right, so yesterday I received a call. They were like, hey, there's somebody on your Boost mobile account and they were trying to order an iPhone 17s. And we just want to make sure that that wasn't you because it's showing a different address from your address. And I'm feeling all like a smart ass. I'm like, then what's my address then? Man, I'm going to rent it off to me. I'm like, oh, damn, it might be the legit, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, all right, cool, whatever, you know? And I'm like, he told me, he said, hey, all we need to do is just verify that that wasn't you. That's it, that's all we need. I'm like, cool. Then at the end, they're like, all right, we got you all squared away. We're not going to send this out. That's why we do these things. Anyways, we're going to send you the authorization code. We just need that authorization code to make sure that everything's on squared away. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, yes, we straight. Gave him the authorization code. Dog, that was the worst thing I could have done in my entire life, bro.
Tell me these are the hardest words to pronounce. Almond.
It's out.
No sign.
Schedule.
That's easy.
Oh, dog. That was the worst thing I could have done in my entire life, bro.
Okay, so before we get into the rest of the clip, we have a comment from you guys. My rule for unknown numbers is that if it's truly important, they'll call and leave a message. No voicemail, no attention given. However, this seems to be the next step in these sort of scams. They're spoofing phone numbers now, along with having even more information about you, like your address. So this is becoming extremely dangerous and a lot more common, but we'll finish off with the clip.
At 7 o'clock this morning, they tried to take everything. First off, they got my wife's phone, they SIM swapped it. So they were able to get into her account, SIM swap it, and now they have her number. They got into her Google, her Klarna, her Venmo, they're opening loans, they're doing all kinds of stuff just off of a phone number, bro. And, you know, I'm not the only dummy. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a dummy. I'm not the only one on this planet, bro. Somebody could fall for this. All I'm asking you is just share it, let somebody know, like, just to raise awareness, because it's something as simple as a code. Now they have your phone number, and apparently everything relies on a phone number. That's basically your identity, bro.
So now two-factor authentication isn't nearly as good as what it was. And there's a clip up on screen right now that's in the news that was almost the exact same situation. Scammers called someone impersonating Wells Fargo. He transferred all of his money out of the bank account, and it's just completely screwed. They can get so much information out of you now, along with doing a very solid job making it look like they're a bank. All of this is just getting to be way too much. We have another comment from you guys right here. As a Gen Xer, I really don't understand how so many of my counterparts are thinking that they're in a relationship with a celebrity. We've talked about that several times in the past. It's just tricking so many people right now. I don't know how you can honestly believe that you're in an online relationship with Brad Pitt, but believe me, it is working. People are getting fleeced left and right. We're talking about relationships. We can go over to the next clip that I still think is a scam, just wasting your time and lying to you, trying to sell you a product.
I need to go call off my engagement with my fiance right now. I'll see if he wants the ring back.
I don't think he will. He'll probably tell me to keep it, and I'll probably just sell it.
136,000 likes for a story that's not true. That girl's not going to go and call off her engagement. She's probably not engaged. Or she's married. Who knows? You are listening to a story about cheating, about something salacious, about a girl best friend coming back in the picture. And in that video, at any point you hear the words spicy cubes. It's an ad. 136,000 people fell for that ad. 136,000. Now, this girl has no caption. She has no hashtags. She has no hashtag ad. She has no ad on the video itself. So I will be reporting her, the FTC, because that's illegal.
They mentioned spicy cubes halfway into the video too. It makes me angry, and that's just the new version of guerrilla marketing. Get you hooked in for 15-20 seconds, but if you know what you're looking for, you now realize that they're just completely wasting your time. They drive me crazy. The Cheater Buster ads make me so mad. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, we have a clip up on screen right now. When you search your boyfriend's name and find out he's still texting his ex every night, even on the nights he held you and said you were the only one. You go over to the description, get the answers with Truth Search. Scariest thing is a man pretending he's in love while doing the most unloving thing behind your back. Truth Search again. I do like that when we go over to the comments, people are calling it out. Hidden ads are illegal. Undisclosed ads are illegal, mind you. Why is every single video an ad now? Here's a different one, not talking about relationships, tearing up because I could finally pay off my student debt. And if you go over to the account, it just looks like it's run by scripts, just random numbers and letters finding the bad, even the one you didn't know existed. I do also want to point out that if you caught it at the very beginning of that clip, you could clearly see when the woman hit record and then a second later spontaneously just started crying. It just looks so bad and adds to the fact that almost nothing online is organic anymore. Speaking of that, we could take a look at some of the data with fake accounts on social media.
Breaking, almost half of all activity on Instagram is fake, and this is according to documents from Meta itself. This is the information that's coming to light in Meta's current antitrust trial. A few years ago, a Meta executive sent an email to Instagram CEO warning that 40% of all engagement on Instagram was fake. Much of the fake engagement on Instagram is coming from bots. So in other words, Instagram is becoming another Twitter, which is now known, of course, as X. And that Meta executive was extremely concerned about the public finding out about all of the fake engagement on Meta. Specifically, the executive worried that, quote, a loss of public trust is the greatest threat that Meta has.
We'll go right over to the comments. This app is the exact same. The only surprise is that they're saying 40%. It really does seem like a majority of comments on celebrity social media posts on all platforms are bots. That's a very good point, making it look like they're way popular than they actually are. Not nearly as many people care about celebrities in today's world. The dead internet theory is no longer a theory at this point, and it truly is on all platforms. There's even bot comments on this video probably, and this goes very well with the next clip.
In the playoffs, you need to find that extra gear. The betting is live, and the mode is electric. Playoff mode, only on FanDuel. New customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win.
Getting a loan to pay off debt sounds backwards, right? I used to think the same thing until my credit card started hitting me with 25%.
Very well with the next clip.
Have you guys been encountering this thing on Facebook Marketplace that's a total scam where somebody will have like this item really listed for cheap, like mostly couches, and you'll go to like contact them, want to pick them up, and they're like, okay, put X amount deposit before you come pick it up. And it's literally like, no, we're coming the same day to pick it up. That makes no sense. But it's a total scam. I just didn't even know this existed until I was like looking for furniture.
Okay, so this is a pretty common scam. I feel like most people know about it. If you do give them a deposit, they'll just disappear and block you. You'll lose however much money you give. But what I did think was funny is that all of the bot accounts definitely got the script, the keywords, whatever she put in her video, because you go over to the comment section and it's just adding all of these random gurus. Thank you for handling everything with such care, expertise, and commitment. and random account restored mine even without an appeal option. Now, it's a mixture between random gurus and selling more software, but has absolutely nothing to do with the video. And a very good example of the earlier clip with 40% of online activity being entirely bots. And to add on top of this as well, we have another comment from you guys. The ad straight after your video was an AI generated scam video. I bet you're seeing the exact same thing on this current video. But let's take a look at the next clip and see if you find anything off.
I lost $58,000 in Bitcoin after falling for a fake crypto investment scheme. Everything about it seemed so convincing. The website had real-time charts, there were fake reviews everywhere online, and their support team made me believe my money was safe. At first, I could even withdraw small amounts.
Okay, so we're cutting it off there. If you didn't notice, that was a completely AI-generated video. They just have a JPEG of some random woman, and they make her start saying whatever they want. This one's trying to sell you yet another product. Surprise, surprise, you go over to the comment section, it's the exact same thing. It's all bots, all scams. And we'll take a look at the actual account. Apparently 80,000 followers, team of certified ethical hacker. It's a team of a singular hacker. Click the link below to message us for help. And just a couple of the videos you can see, it's all AI generated. Again, 80,000 followers and getting about 30 views per video. Basically non-existent. The entire thing is just a scam. But I couldn't help myself. We'll take a look at a little bit more of the AI slop. Okay, morning has passed. I need to see all of your AI scam presents, please and thank you. And this is what people got for Christmas. My mom fell for that book mug. My 7-year-old literally screamed, "Oh no, that's AI," when she opened it. A K-pop sweatshirt. I have the worst one. It's a screaming red man. AI pickle slippers. Please enjoy my Labubu Dubai chocolate bar. Oh man. AI Glinda poster of myself. My parents got me AI pictures of my dog. My poor mom thought it was a knit sweatshirt. My stepdad fell for the crystal mug. I mean, that's a classic from last year. I got the AI crystal mug that was going viral months ago. Here's another example of that knitted sweater help. My dad bought my mom presents for Christmas, and they're all AI generated. It obviously looks a lot nicer in the photos, and then when you actually get it, it's just a really low quality polyester print. My dad was very upset this Christmas to find that the Tiffany lamp he bought my mom from Facebook was fake, and it was just AI, with a really rough looking dog lamp. But some people are almost embracing this, making it way more common, and in my opinion will just increase these scams. Why does my grandma have a bunch of AI photos of us around the house? You couldn't have just taken normal photos with smartphones? I mean, everyone has one nowadays. This kind of stuff only seems to be getting worse and worse. But we'll transition over to, of course, we had to have the car section of this video. People love to scam when we're talking about vehicles.
Got a customer that came in, want to praise their Ram TRX, title in hand. That's rare. This is what the Raptor should have been. V8 supercharged motor, carbon interior. Oh, we got a total loss here. 2021 Ram TRX has about 35,000 miles, but it's a total loss vehicle. It's reported total loss in 2023. What you can do is, if there's a total loss in the document, you just type it in Google, and it'll show you what the car looked like from the damage. Some of these you gotta pay, but there are some places where you can go, like VinFax. Somebody bought this for $30,805 back in 2023. I know my screen protector's bad. Leave me alone. That's what it looks like. Look at the front of that. That's really bad. Probably some possible frame damage.
And yeah, especially when you're going to a dealership, I don't know how you wouldn't think they'd look up the VIN. Just trying to hide that, make it look like there was no damage whatsoever, even though it's a salvage. It was destroyed. But you could take this another step. He found out about it because of the VIN. And then we have videos like this up on screen. VIN swaps, $600 each, and a Telegram link. Now clearly, this is not legal whatsoever, but there are a lot more ways to scam you on a vehicle than you think. Don't forget to roll back the miles. The criminality of the world is increasing rapidly. I agree. I just saw someone doing mile rollbacks now, and I'm seeing VIN swaps. The world is telling me something. And people have been doing that for a while now, especially with the modern vehicles, and they all have iPad screens. They have pieces of equipment that can change whatever they want in the car.
Okay, so this is the guy that tried to defraud us. So yesterday morning we got a phone call. It seems super normal. Phone rings like 9 o'clock in the morning. Guy answers, says, "Hey, I want to buy this one truck. You want to buy a 2025 Rebel?" And I noticed he was from Ohio. So the fact that he didn't ask any questions about the truck kind of set up a little bit of a, spidey sense was going off. Maybe he wasn't real. So I told him, I said, "Okay, send me I need a picture of your driver's license. I need a credit app picture of your driver's license, and then a selfie if you're holding the driver's license," which he He sent over, he texted to me right then. They all looked legit. I got to a point where I was like, maybe I should, if this is an actual person. But then I started looking at the photo and something just looked a little bit off. So we took the photo, uploaded it into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT came out and said that it's highly likely that the photo was edited. And sure enough, as we looked closer and dove into it, it definitely looks fishy.
So now we're at the point where we're using AI to find out if other people are using AI to scam. What is this world coming to? The photo did look pretty rough right off the bat, but with the advancements of this technology in the future, I mean, just taking a look back a couple years, what those AI videos look like in 2021, 2022, they were terrible. And now in 2026, they're tricking a ton of people. What is it going to look like in 2030? I am not looking forward to that whatsoever.
If you're on the Alexis, wait 1 second. If that's somebody telling you not to hang up, hang up. Don't put in any more money. They're scamming you. I promise you.
It's an open secret at Circle K's across the country. People getting scammed at crypto ATMs inside the stores, like this man in Longwood, Florida.
It's a scam.
He's scamming you out of your money,
He's scamming you out of your money. So we're trying to prevent that and stop you from doing it. He's going to take your life savings from you.
Don't let him do that.
Wait a minute. I just wait, don't hit done yet. Don't. We have a detective on the way. Please don't.
Crypto ATMs let people buy Bitcoin using cash, but the machines can charge high fees on transactions, scam or legit. And the machines provide a convenient way for scammers to steal people's money all across the U.S. CNN and ICIJ reviewed more than 150 cases of scams using crypto ATMs inside Circle K's. Dozens of Circle K employees tell us they know about the problem of crypto scams, and some even alerted their management.
I just don't want any error to happen. You have not purchased anything. No. He has put 22,000
The retailer has kept the machines in its stores and even renewed a deal with Bitcoin Depot earlier this year.
So we have people consistently getting scammed with these crypto ATM machines, and Circle K does not care whatsoever. They're definitely making money renewing the contract, and once you put your cash into crypto and send it to somebody else, it is gone. There is no way you're getting it back. You're just completely screwed. I mean, it's getting so bad that we have police officers pleading with people to not put any more money in. This is crazy. Now this next one is short and sweet, but still just a reminder when we're talking about
I don't know how people fall for this, but anyone on TikTok who's saying they're going to help you make money if you just buy their course or something like that, they're full of it. They're lying to you. Do you want to know how I know they're lying? If I suddenly became rich, the last thing I'd want to do is sell TikTok courses to people.
And I'd like to piggyback off that. Say you find some weird niche that you could start making money online, and it genuinely works. Let's just say it's dropshipping, even though that's very oversaturated. You find a couple of products that nobody's selling, and you're just raking in the cash. Why would you tell anybody else about that, even if it is in a course? You would just make more competition for yourself, and in the long run, lose money. Most people who actually make that kind of money just shut up and don't say anything about it. So when you see the e-commerce courses, the crypto, the Airbnb, I mean, there are so many different types of courses. They're just selling you a dream, and a majority of the time, you'll just end up losing money. I'm going to start selling courses on how to not get scammed by people that are selling courses online. As funny as that is, I bet it would be pretty profitable. No, this isn't true. I made my first 20 million just this last month. I'll just reply to this comment. So this person is making bank selling this product and they're dying for more competition? Really? That's exactly what I was talking about. No one in their right mind would ever actually do that.
As a mom of 2 boys, having health insurance is extremely important. I am beyond...
I was talking about. No one in their right mind would ever actually do that.
Which TikTok health trend has been most upsetting you? Not a TikTok trend, but for some reason, I don't know why, it's been flooding my feed. Tell me in the comments if it's been popping up for you. Dr. Andrew Huber has been all over my feed with advertisements targeting me with this AG1 athletic green stuff. I would occasionally enjoy seeing a Huberman clip where he has an expert on and they talk about something medical-wise. But now, when I see a Huberman clip, it's just an ad for AG1, which is ridiculous. It's not something I would ever recommend to anybody. Eat a vegetable, eat a fruit. Why am I so stressed out?
So we've gone over AG1 a couple times on my second channel. If you don't know what it is, it's just another powder advertised as the best thing ever. It's got every vitamin and nutrient you could think of. It'll help you in so many ways. All you need to do is buy this product that is wildly expensive. And many experts have dug into the ingredients, and for the price you're paying, it is not worth it whatsoever. But they get a very popular social media figure to just hammer out ad after ad. I can't imagine how much they paid them. And if you're looking up anything health-wise, medical field, fitness content, you're just going to see those advertisements over and over again, all for a product that's just not worth it. Now we'll go over to a couple clips that definitely prey on people who are desperate in this economy, and unfortunately tricks a lot of people.
I'm a fraud analyst for a bank, and the biggest scam that I see in my day-to-day life is usually false employment scams. These are often fake employers putting up fake job applications on things like Indeed, and whenever you fill out the application, they take your information, and oftentimes they'll contact you telling you that you got the job. They'll send you a check that they want you to deposit into the account, so that way you can use that money to purchase the items to facilitate the job they're hiring you to do. Then whenever you send that money back to them or do whatever they ask you to do, that check that you deposited ends up bouncing, and then that leaves you responsible for the money and putting you in negative most likely. If you ever get a check as part of a job application, it's probably not real. Don't deposit it.
We can go right over to the comments. Someone tried to do this with me. The creator responded, they almost got me when I was 18, but I didn't deposit the check. And in this climate, the terrible job market, you have people so desperate for any type of work. This is running rampant right now, even though it does seem like an obvious scam. Another issue a lot of people are dealing with right now is the housing problem.
I don't want anyone to learn this the hard way, so let me tell you. If you see a TikTok account that's like NYC Real Estate, and they are posting a video of an apartment that looks unbelievable, and the price is lower than you've ever seen, it's because that apartment is actually unbelievable, because it's not real. And they're just trying to get you to give you their phone number or your email or something, so they can just spam you and put you on a list.
I still can't believe how many people fall for it. I always see so many comments. Still available, I'm interested. It's literally a Soho 2-bed for $18.90. It would be significantly more than that if it was real. And the message me on WhatsApp, just trying to get you onto another platform to scam you. But we got another comment from you guys right here. My sister's a banker. She constantly deals with people who are getting scammed. Most of the time she can stop them, but sometimes people don't want to hear it. But hopefully these videos help some people out, will enlighten them to some of the scams that I've seen. But like always, there are some you just can't talk out of their choices. We're going to finish off this video with a couple of examples that I think still are scams, maybe not in the same realm of what we've seen today, but still a ton of ways companies will nickel and dime you for everything you have.
I am at my family dentist, the one that I went to growing up, and they said I have no cavities. I went to get a second opinion. They said I had no cavities, and this other place said I had 9 cavities, and they had the drill ready to drill my mouth open, and they said I was gonna have to take off work from like the 12 days.
How much money do you think it would cost to fill in 9 cavities? Whether you have insurance or paying out of pocket, that dental office would make a pretty penny off of you. But luckily she went to a family dentist to get a second opinion, and she was about to get completely ripped off. Aspen Dental is a scam as well. Always stick to family dentists, not these big corporate companies. Aspen Dental told me I needed 7 root canals and 3 cavities filled. I got a second opinion and only needed 1 cavity filled. Insane. That's just unbelievable to me.
So many big companies are just becoming total scams. I don't feel compelled to vent about this stuff, too often, but I've been done so dirty. So many slimy, scummy things have been done to me over the past just 2 to 3 days by big companies that I need to talk about. I need to vent about it. I'll give 2 really good examples. The first one is I need to renew my passport, and I get Clear Plus for free. I go to the airport. The Clear Plus line is usually longer than the TSA pre-check line, so I don't use it. I just use TSA pre-check anyway. But I saw that if I renewed my passport, which I need to do, I can get 10% off, and it can be an expedited service for Clear. It's like, oh, save some money, save some time, perfect. Like, why not do it this way? I pay them, $200 and something bucks, fill it out, and I do all the things they tell me to. I get to the form, and they're like, oh, you also need to pay for, shipping. And I was like, okay, seems fine, like I guess it's expedited, I'll pay an extra like $25 for shipping, whatever. I fill it all out, and they get, here's your packet. Now you can pay the government another $200, and then you have to mail it to them. I was like, well, first of all, I'm eligible to renew this thing online. Why the fuck am I mailing it to someone? And then I get this like white glove concierge person who like reaches out to me, like, let me know if you have any questions. I'm like, I paid you $200. I thought I was paying for the fee. What's going on here? Like, oh, you pay us $200, and you also pay the government $200. I was like, that, give me a refund. I can fill out a form myself. I don't need to pay someone $200 to fill out a form for me. And then they're like, oh, you're actually not eligible for the refund. You actually need to talk to someone to see if we can manually potentially approve it for you.
Oh man, I feel like everybody has experiences like this where you're just getting hit with extra fees, hidden costs, that at the beginning you thought you were getting a good deal, but in the end you're actually paying way more. One of the examples that I can remember right off the bat is the last time that I went to the eye doctor to get my prescription. I wear contacts and my vision was getting a little blurry, so I went there and got the test. However, they wouldn't give me my actual prescription numbers unless I bought either glasses or contacts from them. Because if you did have those numbers, you could go over to a company online and get it way cheaper. So I had to pay extra money just to get it, and then I'm able to buy it myself off of 1-800-CONTACTS or something like that. Just slimy tactics from companies all across the board. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.
If you don't have money for home projects,
what's good, everybody? This is the boy O.C. Duke Jackson. The candle of the day is blueberry muffin. And I'm a high value male. Put the clapping sound. I am a high value male. This is what a high value male looks like. O.C. Duke Jackson. You better hide the girl. Rest in peace to the great Kevin Samuel. I'm keeping up his image, his legacy. Duke Jackson. Okay, Duke. I'm a high value male. And
now that ain't no Beijing right there. That's straight tar. That is just straight roof tar that they done poured to your head, and I mean your hair and beard gonna stay black forever. You probably end up getting some new growth, but yeah, that ain't going nowhere. I mean, look at all of the
Yo, Coop, what up, baby boy? I am headed to Vinland, New Jersey, and then the Bronx. I should be there. Looks like it is Sunday morning and then Monday morning. But we shall see. Yeah, man, I just left Nebraska. I'm in Iowa. I should make it to Indiana this afternoon. Yeah, things is going smooth, man. I see you guys are running around with me. What you got going on? You're doing all this skip, hopping, and jumping. Making deliveries. What you, a medical courier now? What you got going on? Yo, I need to do some laundry too. I gotta do some laundry this afternoon. I'm out of workout clothes. Get my ass back to the gym. I had a good day off yesterday. It was nice, man. Went to the gym in the morning, walked around the mall, ate some ice cream, came back, ate some dinner, watched some Penny Dreadful and fell asleep. That was it. That was the whole day. You know how beautiful that was? I slept in. Oh, man. I'm not yawning because I'm tired. I'm yawning because I'm still trying to get up from that wonderful slumber I partook in. Now it's time to get back to work. Yeah, bro. Gotta get shit done during the winter time, so when the summertime comes, you got some time to play and go about your way. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get this paper together and take a few choice days off in the summertime to do a few tables. I don't need the whole summer off. I don't even need a week vacation. I just need like 4 long weekends. Monday, a Friday to a Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Maybe you might even throw a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday in there. Long enough to keep the wheels turning, some money in my pocket, and a little time for myself. I got next November, man. Next November will be my 4th year, and this bad boy is done. All mine. Then I'm going to take a real vacation. I'm going to take a real vacation when this truck title is in my name. Next fucking November, buddy. What's that, 27? Let's go. Let's go! I'm in overdrive right now.
Have you guys heard of the auction app? I got all of...
There's a specific moment in everyone's
that's what's up. Y'all got a new play coming up. Well, that's good because unless he's playing a different part, which also will be good, then he can learn the same thing around. He got work history. Understand? So that's what's up. But yeah, so what it's gonna look like when the truck's paid for? Obvious, I won't have no more truck payment, which would be amazing. Which is gonna be amazing. All my maintenance and everything is up to date. So since I went the lease purchase route, I have two options. I can just stay with the company I'm with and work off of their word slipping my mind. Their authority. Or I can put my name on the side of the truck, get my own MC number, my motor carrier number from USA Motor Carrier, and get my own authority. Then I'd have to go find myself a trailer to rent or buy a trailer, and I can go on the load boards, go get my own loads, run my own insurance, IFTA, and make sure I'm compliant with all the states, and I'm good to go, man. So I can either just stay where I'm at or go 100% all in. Right now I'm like 80% all in. Because all the responsibility is mine, but I'm not using my own authority. But after this happens, and yeah, keep more money. About the same risk that I've been taking, except for now I have my own carrier. I'll be my own carrier, so that'll be dope. Lots of work, lots of sacrifice, but gotta put it in, right? What do they say? You gotta live like no one else will live today, so you can live like no one else can tomorrow. Nobody wants to live in this fucking truck. Everybody wants to go home. Me included. But I'm not gonna keep my ass out here and get this paper, man. And set up these things. Well, I'm gonna be working forever. Who wants to work forever? Good. No. I'm trying to build something so I can sell it.
Life when everything can change. It's not dramatic. There's no lightning bolt from heaven. It's just you standing there, finally asking yourself the question that matters. Am I really giving this life everything I've got, or am I just pretending? I was 25 years old, broke, and embarrassed. I had a family to feed, promises I'd made, dreams I'd talked about at parties, and absolutely nothing to show for it. My bank account was a joke. My prospects were worse. And the hardest part, I had nobody to blame but myself. That's when it hit me. The problem wasn't the economy. It wasn't my boss. It wasn't my circumstances or my education or where I grew up. The problem was that I wasn't taking myself seriously. I was treating my life like a dress rehearsal, like the real show would start someday when conditions were perfect. But here's what I learned that day. There is no dress rehearsal. This is it. And if you don't take yourself seriously, nobody else will either. Most people walk through life like they're waiting for permission. Permission to start that business. Permission to ask for the raise. Permission to become the person they've always known they could be. They're living in this strange middle ground where they're not quite failing, but definitely not winning. They show up, they go through the motions, they complain about the results, and then they do the exact same things tomorrow. It's like watching someone play a sport without keeping score. What's the point if you're not serious about it? The truth is, most people treat themselves like extras in someone else's movie. They're in the background, watching the main characters take risks and achieve things and live boldly, while they stand there thinking, that's nice for them, but here's what they don't understand. You are the main character in your life. You're the star of this show. And if you're not taking that role seriously, you're wasting the one shot you've got. Think about how you treat things you take seriously versus things you don't. When something matters to you, really matters, you show up differently. You prepare. You practice. You improve. You don't make excuses. If you're serious about your health, you don't skip workouts when you don't feel like it. If you're serious about your marriage, You don't ignore your spouse for weeks and expect everything to be fine. If you're serious about building wealth, you don't spend Friday nights watching television instead of reading books that could change your financial future. The level of seriousness you bring determines the level of results you get. That's it.
What I want to do is save hundreds when Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance.
That's great, but can you ask your friend to stop digging into the green?
I can ask.
Taking yourself seriously costs something. It costs comfort. It costs the approval of people who want you to stay small so they don't have to face their own mediocrity. It costs late nights and early mornings. It costs saying no to things that feel good now but steal from your future. And that's exactly why most people never do it. They want the results that come from serious effort without the seriousness itself. They want the harvest without planting the seeds, the trophy without training, the applause without the performance. I remember watching successful people when I finally decided to change my life. Not just watching what they did, but how they carried themselves. There was something different about them. They had this quiet confidence that came from keeping promises to themselves. When they said they'd do something, they did it. When they set a goal, they worked on it every single day until it was done. They didn't need anyone to remind them or motivate them or check up on them. They were serious people living serious lives, and the world responded accordingly. The years I wasted before that realization still bother me sometimes. Not because I can get them back, but because I think about who I could have been if I'd started sooner. 25 years old and finally waking up. Some people never wake up at all. They go to their graves with their music still inside them, as someone once said. All that potential, all those possibilities, buried because they never took themselves seriously enough to do something about it. Here's the thing about not taking yourself seriously. The cost compounds. Every day you're not serious about your growth is a day you fall further behind. Every week you spend making excuses is a week someone else is making progress. Every month you waste treating your life casually is a month you'll never get back. Time is you can't read, and every moment you're not taking yourself seriously is a moment you're throwing away. When you look around at people sleepwalking through life, it's painful if you really pay attention. They're capable of so much more, but they've convinced themselves that mediocre is acceptable. They've made peace with less than they could be. They've negotiated with their potential and settled for a fraction of what's possible. And the worst part? They defend it. They'll give you 100 reasons why they can't, why it's not the right time, why their situation is different. But what they're is, I don't take myself seriously enough to do what it takes. Nobody else can take your life seriously. Your mother can't do it. Your spouse can't do it. Your friends can't do it. This is on you. And until you look yourself in the mirror and make the decision that from this day forward, you're going to treat yourself like someone who matters, like someone with enormous potential, like someone worthy of success and happiness and achievement, nothing changes. The decision to take yourself seriously is the decision that changes everything else. I've seen people transform their entire lives in a matter of years once they made this shift. Not because they suddenly became smarter or luckier or more talented, but because they started showing up for themselves the way they've been showing up for everyone else. They stopped making excuses and started making progress. They stopped waiting for perfect conditions and started working with what they had. They stopped treating their dreams like hobbies and started treating them like the serious business of living a meaningful life. Success begins the day you take yourself seriously, because that's the day you stop betraying your own potential. That's the day you stop lying to yourself about what you're capable of. That's the day you start keeping the promises you make to yourself. That's the day you begin building the life you've always known was possible but weren't quite committed enough to create. Everything starts there, with that decision, with that shift in how you see yourself and what you're willing to demand from yourself. And once you make that decision, really make it. There's no going back to the person you used to be. So what does it actually look like when you take yourself? It starts with something so simple that most people, keeping the promises you make. Not the promises you make to your boss or your clients or your family. Those are important, sure, but I'm talking about the promises you make when nobody's watching. The promise to read for 30 minutes before bed, the promise to save 10% of your income, the promise to exercise 3 times this week. Those quiet commitments reveal everything about whether you truly respect yourself. Most people are excellent at keeping promises to others and terrible at keeping promises to themselves. They'll show up on time for everyone else, but run late on their own goal. They'll work overtime for their employer, but won't spend an hour working on their own future. They'll go to extraordinary lengths to avoid disappointing someone else while disappointing themselves every single day. And then they wonder why their life isn't working out the way they hoped. The answer is right there in their daily habits. Your habits are a mirror showing you exactly how seriously you take yourself.
My name is Adam Ferrari, Chief Executive Officer of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to you joining us at our next
Paying attention to successful people, really paying attention. I noticed they had this iron discipline about small things. They didn't just keep the big commitments, they kept all of them. If they said they'd be somewhere at 9 o'clock, they were there at 8:55. If they said they'd call you back, your phone rang. If they committed to learning something new, they studied it until they mastered it. Nothing was casual. Nothing was whenever I get around to it. Everything was deliberate, intentional, serious. And that's when I understood discipline isn't about willpower or being tough on yourself. It's about respect. They respected themselves too much to break their own word. The small commitments matter more than people think. Being on time isn't about the clock. It's about telling yourself that your word means something. Finishing what you start isn't about the task. It's about proving to yourself that you're reliable. Reading every day isn't just about gathering information. It's about honoring the commitment you made to your own growth. Each small promise kept builds your confidence in yourself. Each promise broken erodes it. And over time, you become either someone who trusts yourself completely or someone who doesn't believe a word you say. This isn't about motivation. Motivation comes and goes like the weather. Some days you feel it, most days you don't. Taking yourself seriously means you show up regardless of how you feel. It's an identity shift. You're no longer the person who does things when inspired. You're the person who does things because that's who you are now. The person who exercises doesn't need to feel motivated to go to the gym. They go because they're a person who exercises. The person who reads doesn't wait for the mood to strike. They read because they're a person who values learning. See the difference? One is based on feelings, the other on identity. When you start taking yourself seriously, everything changes. Your health changes because you stop eating whatever's convenient and start eating what serves your body. Your finances change because you stop spending based on impulse and start investing based on goals. Your relationships change because you stop tolerating people who drain your energy and start surrounding yourself with people who elevate you. It's not that you become a different person. You just become the version of yourself that was always supposed to show up. But here's where people get uncomfortable. Taking yourself seriously means looking at your results honestly. If you're not healthy, it's because you haven't taken your health seriously. If you're broke, it's because you haven't taken your finances seriously. That's a hard pill to swallow because it removes all your excuses. You can't blame your metabolism or the economy or other people anymore. You have to accept that your results reflect your level of seriousness. I watch people all the time who treat important things casually and then act surprised when they get casual results. They'll spend more time planning a vacation than planning their financial future. They'll research a new phone for hours but won't read a single book about improving their marriage. They'll worry about what everyone thinks about them but won't do the work to become someone worth thinking about. It's backwards. The things that matter most should get your best effort, your deepest focus, your most serious attention. Here's something that changed my life when I finally understood it. There's a massive difference between trying and committing. When you're trying, you're giving yourself permission to fail. Well, I tried becomes your safety net. But when you commit, failure isn't an option. You'll find a way, because you have to find a way. The language matters. I'll try to save money this month is completely different from I'm saving $500 this month, no matter what. One leaves room for excuses. The other leaves room only for results. Serious people don't try, they commit. The standards you set for yourself become your reality. If your standard is to be on time, you'll be on time. If your standard is close enough, that's what you'll get. If your standard is excellence, you'll find ways to achieve it. If your standard is mediocre, you'll settle there. Most people never consciously choose their standards. They just accept whatever standards the people around them have. But when you take yourself seriously, you set your own standards based on who you want to become, not based on what everyone else is doing. Think about the most successful people you know personally. Watch how they treat their word. If they tell you they'll do something, consider it done. They don't overpromise and underdeliver. They don't make commitments lightly. And when they do commit, they follow through, even when it's inconvenient, even when they don't feel like it, even when nobody would blame them for backing out. That's not just integrity, that's self-respect. They respect themselves too much to be someone whose word doesn't mean it. Now look at how they treat their time. They don't waste it. They don't spend 3 hours scrolling through social media or watching shows they don't even enjoy. They're intentional about every hour because they understand something crucial. Time is life. When you waste time, you waste life. Serious people protect their time like it's their most valuable asset, because it is. They say no to things that don't serve their goals. They eliminate activities that don't add value. They're ruthless about guarding what matters most. And watch how they treat their personal development. They're always learning, always growing, always improving. They read books. They attend seminars. They find mentors. They invest in themselves without hesitation because they know the best investment they'll ever make is in their own capabilities. They don't wait until they can afford it. They can afford it because they made it a priority. $500 for a course that could change their income forever? They find the money. An hour a day to study something new? They find the time. It's not about resources. It's about seriousness.
Here's a hot take. If you have a message inside you that people are meant to hear, it'll never make the impact that it truly deserves until you have one thing, an audience. The best way to build an audience and a platform that amplifies your message.
The truth is this, you can't have a casual approach to important things and expect serious results. You can't casually pursue wealth and become wealthy. You can't casually work on your health and become healthy. You can't casually build a business and build a successful business. The level of commitment has to match the size of the goal. Small goals, small commitment. Big goals, total commitment. And if your goals are big but your commitment is small, you're just daydreaming. When you truly take yourself seriously, you become someone you can count on. You become your own best friend instead of your own worst enemy. You stop sabotaging yourself with poor choices. You stop breaking promises to yourself and then wondering why you don't have confidence. You build a track record of following through, and that track record becomes the foundation of everything else you achieve. Because here's the secret. You can't build anything meaningful on a foundation of broken promises and casual effort. Self-respect is the foundation. Everything else is built on top of that. Once you start taking yourself seriously, something fascinating happens. The world around you begins to shift. It's not magic. It's just that you become a different person, and different people attract different circumstances. The opportunities that show up, the people who enter your life, the doors that open, all of it changes because you changed first. When you're serious about your life, you stop attracting casual people and casual opportunities. You start attracting other serious people who recognize something in you that matches something in them. I'll never forget when I made my own shift. Within 6 months, my entire circle of friends had changed. Not because I abandoned anyone or became arrogant, but because I was spending my evenings reading and working on my goals while they were spending theirs complaining and watching television. I was investing in courses and seminars while they were investing in new cars they couldn't afford. I was asking different questions, having different conversations, pursuing different activities. We simply grew apart because we were heading in different directions. It wasn't personal. It was natural. Some people in your life will resist your transformation. They'll mock your new habits. They'll call you obsessed or say you've changed. And they're right, you have changed. But understand what's really happening. Your growth makes them uncomfortable because it holds up a mirror to their own lack of seriousness. When you're improving and they're not, it forces them to confront questions they'd rather avoid. So they try to pull you back down to where you were, not because they don't love you, but because your old self was easier for them to be around. Your new self requires them to either grow themselves or get left behind. This is where a lot of people quit. They can't handle losing relationships, even relationships that were holding them back. They'd rather stay stuck with familiar people than grow with unfamiliar ones. But here's what I learned. The people who are meant to be in your life will celebrate your growth, not resent it. The right people will cheer you on, ask you questions about what you're learning, maybe even join you on the path. The wrong people will try to convince you that you're changing for the worse. Trust me on this. Let them go. Your future is more important than their comfort. Now let's talk about money, because taking yourself seriously has enormous economic implications. When you're serious about your value, you stop accepting whatever someone offers to pay you. You start developing skills that make you worth more. You stop trading time for money in ways that keep you broke and start creating value in ways that build wealth. I've watched people double and triple their income within a few years of taking their financial education seriously. Not because they got lucky, because they finally treated their earning potential like something worth developing instead of something fixed and unchangeable. The compound effect is real, and it's spectacular when you apply it. Say you commit to reading 30 minutes every day. That's 3.5 hours a week, about 15 hours a month, roughly 180 hours a year. You know how many books you can read in 180 hours? How much knowledge you can acquire? How many ideas you can implement? Now multiply that by 5 years, by 10 years. The gap between you and someone who doesn't read becomes enormous. Not because you're smarter, but because you were serious about learning and they weren't. The same principle applies to everything. Small amounts of serious, consistent effort compound into extraordinary results over time. Save $100 a week, invest it properly, and in 20 years you could have $250,000. Work on your craft for 1 hour every single day, and in 5 years you'll be in the top 10% of your field. Study leadership principles for 20 minutes each morning, and within a year you'll be the person everyone wants on their team. It's not complicated. It's just that most people won't stay serious long enough to see the compound effect work its magic. When you take your education seriously, and I mean really seriously, you become dangerous in the marketplace. You become someone who knows things other people don't know. You can solve problems other people can't solve. You can see opportunities other people can't see. And the reward is always. If you're not earning what you want to earn, the question isn't whether you deserve more. The question is whether you've made yourself worth more. Have you invested in your skills? Have you studied your industry? Have you learned from people who've already achieved what you want to achieve? Or have you just been showing up, doing the minimum, and hoping someone notices your potential? Your children notice when you take yourself seriously. They may not say anything, but they're watching. When they see you read, they learn that learning matters. When they see you keep your commitments, they learn that integrity matters. When they see you work on your goals consistently, they learn that discipline matters. You're not just building your own life, you're teaching them how to build theirs. The greatest gift you can give the next generation isn't money or opportunities. It's the example of someone who took themselves seriously enough to create a life worth living. If you're running a business or leading a team, people can sense whether you're serious or just playing around. Employees know if their leader is committed or just hoping things work out. Customers know if you're genuinely trying to serve them or just trying to make a sale. Partners know if you're in it for the long haul or just until something better comes along. And they respond accordingly. Serious leaders attract serious team members. Serious businesses attract serious customers. Serious partners attract serious collaborations.
2 years ago, Tony Robbins helped Serena Williams break through a mental slump and return to championship form. According to Tony, he didn't do it through motivation.
The law is reliable as gravity. Here's the distinction that changes everything. Wishing versus planning. Most people wish for things. They wish they were healthier. They wish they had more money. They wish their relationships were better. But wishing is not serious. Planning is serious. People don't wish. They plan. They set specific goals, break them down into daily actions, track their progress, and adjust their approach based on results. They have written plans with deadlines and milestones. They know exactly what they need to do this week, this month, this quarter to move closer to what they want. Show me your plan, and I'll tell you how serious you are. Taking yourself seriously also means taking feedback seriously. When someone who's achieved what you want to achieve gives you advice, you don't defend yourself or make excuses. You listen. You consider it. You implement it. I've seen people throw away golden opportunities for growth because they couldn't handle honest feedback. Their ego was too fragile to hear the truth about where they were falling short. But serious people have strong egos in the right way. They're secure enough to hear criticism without falling apart. They want to know where they're weak because they want to get stronger. The courage this requires can't be overstated. It takes real courage to look honestly at your results and say, these results are telling me something about my approach and I need change. It's much easier to blame external factors, to say the game is rigged, to convince yourself that you're doing fine and everyone else is just lucky. But that's what unserious people do. They protect their ego at the expense of their progress. Serious people protect their progress at the expense of their ego. They'd rather face uncomfortable truths and improve than feel comfortable and stay stuck. The ripple effect keeps expanding. When you take yourself seriously, you start taking other people seriously too. You stop wasting their time. You show up prepared for meetings. You honor your agreements. You bring value to every interaction. And guess what happens? People want to work with you. They want to help you. They want to be around you. Because serious people are rare. And everyone wants them on their team, in their business, in their life. Over 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, the distance between someone who takes themselves seriously and someone who doesn't becomes almost impossible to measure. One builds wealth, relationships, health, and meaning. The other wonders why life is so hard, why opportunities never come, why they can never seem to get ahead. The difference isn't talent or luck or background. The difference is seriousness. One person treated their life like it mattered. The other treated it like a casual hobby they'd get to someday. And someday, as we all know, never comes. When you truly take yourself seriously, you stop seeing yourself as just someone earning a living. You're designing a life. There's a massive difference. Earning a living is about survival, about getting by, about making it to the weekend. Designing a life is about intention, about creation, about building something that reflects who you are and what you value. Most people spend more time planning a 2-week vacation than they spend planning their entire life. They drift from year to year, hoping things get better, wondering why they feel unfulfilled. But hoping isn't a strategy. Drifting isn't a plan. If you're serious about your life, if you design it deliberately, at the center of taking yourself seriously is personal responsibility. Not partial responsibility where you take credit for the wins and blame circumstances for the losses. Total responsibility for everything. Your income, your health, your relationships, your happiness, your results. All of it. This is where most people stop. They want the benefits of taking themselves seriously without accepting responsibility for where they are. But you can't have one without the other. The moment you accept complete responsibility for your life is the moment you become powerful. Because if you're responsible for where you are, that means you have the power to change it. I remember the day I stopped blaming anything or anyone for my situation. I was 25, broke, and embarrassed, as I mentioned earlier. But the real breakthrough wasn't realizing I was broke. It was realizing that I had created that situation through 1,000 small choices. Nobody forced me to skip reading. Nobody made me waste my evenings. Nobody mandated that I ignore opportunities to learn and grow. I did that. And as painful as that realization was, it was also liberating. Because if I created this mess, I could create something better. The power was mine all along. I just hadn't been serious enough to use it. Blaming keeps you powerless. When it's the economy's fault, you can't fix it. When it's your boss's fault, you're stuck. When it's your circumstances or your past or your lack of advantages, there's nothing you can do but complain. But the moment you say, my results are my responsibility, everything changes. Now you can take action. Now you can make different choices. Now you have power. Serious people understand this. They don't waste time blaming because blame doesn't solve anything. They take responsibility because responsibility creates options. So what do you do today, right now? First, look at your morning. How you start your day reveals how serious you are about your life. Successful people don't roll out of bed and stumble through their morning reacting to whatever comes their way. They have routines. They wake up early. They exercise or meditate or read or plan their day. They take control of their morning instead of letting their morning control them. If you want to take yourself seriously, start here. Design a morning routine that prepares you mentally, physically, and emotionally for the day ahead. Then follow it. Every single day. No exceptions. No excuses. Second, write down your $1,000 by December 2030. Not, I want to be healthier, but I will weigh 170 pounds and run. Miles without stopping by June 2026. Serious people have written goals with deadlines. Unserious people have vague wishes without time frames. The act of writing forces clarity. Clarity forces commitment. Commitment forces action.
I'm thinking about going back to school in 2026, but the cost feels impossible. UMGC might be able to help. Last year alone.
Invest in yourself without hesitation. Buy the book. Take the course. Hire the coach. Attend the seminar. Whatever it costs. It's less than the cost of staying where you are. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on my own education over the years, and it's the best money I've ever spent. Not because every book or course or seminar changed my life, but because the cumulative effect of continuous learning transformed who I am. Serious people invest in themselves first. They don't wait until they have extra money. They make the money by investing in themselves. Fourth, find accountability. You need someone who will ask you the hard questions. Someone who won't let you make excuses. Someone who cares enough about your success to tell you when you're slacking off. This could be a mentor, a coach, a business partner, or a friend who's also committed to growth. But you need someone. Because it's too easy to lie to yourself when nobody's watching. Accountability keeps you honest. Fifth, measure your progress. What gets measured gets improved. Track your finances. Track your health metrics. Track how many books you read, how many calls you make, how many hours you invest in your craft. Numbers don't lie. Feelings lie all the time. You'll feel like you're working hard, but the numbers will show you the truth. Serious people track their numbers because they want truth, not comfortable delusions. This isn't just about building wealth or achieving success, though those things will come. This is about living in a way that honors the potential you were given. Every person has enormous potential. Absolutely enormous. But most people take that potential to their grave because they never took themselves seriously enough to develop it. They had the seeds but never planted them. They had the tools but never learned to use them. They had the time but wasted it on things that didn't matter. The urgency of this can't be overstated. You're getting older every single day. You can't get those days back. You can regret them, but you can't reclaim them. So the question is simple. Are you going to take yourself seriously starting today? Or are you going to keep drifting and hope things somehow work out? Because they won't work out on their own. They never do. Success doesn't find casual people. It finds serious people. People who've decided that their life matters, their goals matter, their growth matters. Success is waiting for you right now. It's been waiting for you all along, but it will only reveal itself to someone who shows up as worthy of it. Someone who keeps their word. Someone who does the work. Someone who takes themselves seriously enough to do what it takes for as long as it takes. Today can be the day everything changes. But only if you decide it is. Only if you look yourself in the mirror and make the commitment that from this moment forward, you're done playing small. You're done making excuses. You're done being casual about things that matter. Starting today. You take yourself seriously. And when you do, everything else will follow.
You're someone who loves thrifting or clothes you need, start shopping on Whatnot. Telling you guys, it is the cheat code. Most of these pieces I got were about $1 to $2.
Bruh. Oh my goodness. So, unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure you're well aware of the recent story of an American citizen who is now deceased thanks to, the actions of an ice age. And I want people to understand that this wasn't any
ordinary, regular American citizen, okay? Just like they did when it came to the immigrants and the Ukraine immigrants coming over to the United States, how those weren't regular refugees, that those were something special with blue eyes and blonde hair.
But this isn't a place, with all due respect, like Iraq or Afghanistan, that has seen conflict raging for decades. This is a relatively civilized, relatively European, I have to choose those words carefully too.
These are prosperous middle-class people. These are not obviously refugees trying to get away from areas in the Middle East, from areas in North Africa.
It's very emotional for me because I see European people with blue eyes and blonde hair being killed.
These are not refugees from Syria. These are Christians, they're white.
That's the same thing here, okay? Not only was this a white person, a white American citizen, but this was a white female American citizen. Not only a white female American citizen, but a white female American citizen that was a mother of 3. Damn. Now, upon that information coming out, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, yo, it's a wrap. This ICE agent, he's cooked, he's finito. I'm expecting him to get the South Park treatment. Now, for those of you who don't know, there's an episode where George Zimmerman's on South Park. He pops Cartman, thinking that Cartman's black. Turns out Cartman has black face on him. He has black paint. George Zimmerman gets a guilty verdict, sentenced death penalty, and that's it.
Hey, wait a minute. This kid isn't black. He's white. Wait, what? Guilty.
That's what I'm expecting. I'm like, oh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Game over. Pack it up. ICE is done. They're finito. They just killed a white woman who's a mother of 3. It's done though. I don't want to hear it. I already know this ICE agent, he's never going to see the light of day. He may get the death penalty. His family may get threats. It's done, bruh. That is not what happened. Not to make light of a tragedy, but that is not what happened. These most on code, okay? They were on code. And it really goes to show the hatred, right? The hatred that these people have for not only black people, but for brown people, for immigrants, because what they are likening her to is essentially an N-word lover.
He's out of line, but he's right.
That's what they're equating her to. A lot of the memes are saying, hey, I died for an N-word. That's what they're saying. They're saying, I died for a Somali N-word. They're putting her face, the same face as George Floyd. They are mocking this white woman who is a mother of 3. Now, this came as a shock to me, because I'm like, wait, what? I always, under the impression that, all white people are a good chunk, at least, were on code, right? They're on code. But it is I don't know, it's a revelation to understand that white conservatives view white liberals as essentially just light-skinned black people, okay? They view them as light-skinned N-words. They view them as worse than dirt. They view them as race traitors in many cases. That's how they view them. And that's how they're treating this woman right now. Essentially, she's a race traitor. Hey, you're gonna, fight for some Somali and some N-words over your own people, over your own white people. What a waste of, white skin and everything. You get what you deserve. And that's how they're playing this, bro. They're playing this tantamount, honestly, equivalent to her being a black woman.
Come on now, dog.
The level of disrespect they're showing to her is, I don't know, it's catching me off guard. I hate to say it, but it's catching me off guard. Because I'm used to this level of respect, it reserved exclusively for black victims. Because, you'll see a meme and say, yeah, of course, that's what, these demons do. That's what the lineage of evil does. But these mofos are now doing it towards this white woman because they view her as such. They view her as garbage. Hey, you're doing this, you're trying to stop ICE. What's wrong with you? And everyone, I'm talking about Kristi Noem, talking about, it said that, hey, she's a domestic terrorist.
It was an act of domestic terrorism?
Some of these are the hardest words to pronounce. Almond.
It's out.
How's that?
Schedule.
That's easy. Herb. It's herb. Herb. Bro, ain't no way. Herb.
You had President, Donald Trump come out. He guaranteed they haven't even wrapped the investigation. The same thing that they were criticizing Obama for doing when it came to Trayvon Martin, we have Donald Trump doing hot off the press, talking about, hey, you know, this is a good thing for the American people. You know what? We got to stand behind our law enforcement. You know, the Ice Agent barely survived and everything. Just immediately going towards, you know, law enforcement, you know, just licking the boot. Everything is just right on plan. Just everyone's on code.
She was trying to ram this guy with her car. He shot back. He defended himself. He's already been seriously wounded in law enforcement operations before, and everybody who's been repeating the lie that this is some innocent woman who was out for a drive in Minneapolis when a law enforcement officer shot at her, you should be ashamed of yourself.
And it should be a wake-up call, bro. It is truly terrifying to see this, because upon seeing the video, I'm like, that's a setup, bro. I'm straight up the Leonardo meme, like that's a setup, bro. Because the reason why I know is because they've done this with black people, and the reason why they do this is so they have legal justification to take a life, and that's what they have right now. Because there is no reason for any reasonable person, much less an officer, to stand in front of a vehicle. Okay, and if you look at the video, he already has his hand going towards his firearm. He is looking for things to pop off. All right, now they try to say, oh, he was damn near ran over. Okay, he was hit by the car. She tried to use the vehicle as a weapon. Now, anyone with an IQ above room temperature knows that's not the case. Knows that she was trying to turn and escape. Now, with any vehicle, you just can't make an immediate left turn. You're gonna go at an angle. So you're gonna go up a little bit to make that right-hand turn. That's just how that works. So, but what you have to understand, legally, by him being in front of that vehicle moves, hell, an inch, a 2-inch. If he perceives it as a threat, which of course he will, he is legally justified to use his firearm. Because now, what you have done in the eyes of the law is use your vehicle as a weapon. Damn. And due to escalation of force, they now can go a step above the force that they're using, that is being forced upon them. So vehicle, they don't taser with a vehicle. You immediately go to your firearm, and that's exactly what he did. So I would argue this is 100% a setup. He was looking to take her life. Now, is he legally sound? I would argue 100%. The reason why I say is the only caveat that I would have had was that she was a white woman, right? That was the only caveat. But the fact that they're treating her, all right, everyone from the president to DHS, treating her as a black person, that's how they're treating this woman, she has no chance. It's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen at all right? Not at all. This isn't that case where the Somali, the Somali officer shot the white lady in the vehicle? That's not the case. White privilege, they have stripped her of her white privilege because they view her as a race traitor. That is what's going on right now in the country. And that's how you're seeing everyone, you know, just attacking her, attacking the family, making fun of her, mocking her. I've never seen this, bro. I've never seen this. So if she doesn't have that going for her, then yeah, this officer is clear as day, bro. No charges going to be filed. I even read that the FBI is shutting down a case of trying to investigate what happened. So we're talking about all the way from the top. They are just saying, nah, this is good. This is what should happen. It is what it is. Let's move on. Don't get in our way. Damn, black people, I don't know what to tell you. The moment in time they start treating white people like us, yeah, things is different, bro. Things is definitely different. All right, definitely different. And you know, it's troublesome. To say the least, it's troublesome, because you also have to understand that with this hierarchy of power and everyone on code and given the same narrative, there is no pushback from the base. There is none. Because you have to understand the base is what a bunch of low IQ white ignorance. So along with that ignorance, they don't like black people. And they sure as heck don't like white people trying to stand up for black people or brown people or anyone else that they don't like. So they automatically view you in the wrong, okay? So you're not going to get any sympathy from them.
The storm is here! When we come, when we go up, no one can stop what is coming!
These are the same people that turned a blind eye to the Epstein files. They went all this time talking about Democrats, and then when Trump gets in, they're like, well, who cares about the Epstein files? There are bigger things going on. This is an Epstein hoax. So when you have a dumb populace and a presidency, an administration who is feeding the narrative, mum's the word, bro. Mum's the word. I don't see anything coming from this, and this is horrible. It really is horrible because I've seen multiple occasions when it comes to law enforcement where and I know they don't have to take the shot. Now I know when it comes to a black person, they are more than happy to take the shot. They will put themselves in harm's way so they have legal justification to take the shot. I haven't seen them do a setup like this on a white woman, much less a white woman, a mother of three. I haven't seen them do the same setup that they do on black people on a woman like this. I haven't seen it. So by them doing that and everyone saying on code, yeah, bro, it's not looking good. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe Lucas, that's what you get. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. F around and find out. That's what happened. Or if you can't believe, bruh. I'll say this once, I'll say it again, I'll say it a million times over, ad nauseum. In many cases, the whole point is de-escalation. There is no reason for that officer to put himself in harm's way so he can legally be protected by qualified immunity to take that shot on that woman. That shouldn't happen. Now, I will also say that, hey, maybe if the white liberals had the same fervor that they have for illegal immigrants, we could have gotten the George Floyd Policing Act passed. Just saying, and none of this would have been an issue. But you see how you screw us over? You end up screwing yourselves over in the long game. Just so we're clear. But anyways, if you happen to disagree, you know where to find me Thursday through Saturday. Disagreement day. Call in and we duke it out. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think and subscribe. And that fun stuff. Till next time, guys. Be amazing.
Why are you fooling people by saying car insurance is $39? That's straight up bullshit.
Can this company use your house to trial their radically simple new window technology? They're looking for homeowners within valid states to test.
The storm is here! When we come, when we go up, no one can stop what is coming!
These are the same people that turned a blind eye to the Epstein files.
When we come, when we go up, no one can stop what is coming!
What's up, family? A viral video shows a white man punching on a black woman at a Walmart while several males just standing around, chilling. Check it out. Okay, fam, off the rip, let me tell you something. I don't give a damn who started the fight. I would get dead on his ass, straight up. That's right, not on my watch. I do not know where these dudes come from today. I understand a lot of y'all scared. I got it. But, it would have been fear that would have propelled me straight into his face. It would have been that fear of being one of the dudes standing around in that viral moment that the rest of the world is looking at saying, wow, would have never happened to our women. We never allow that to happen to our women. Let's switch roles for a minute, man. Can you absolutely, under any circumstance, imagine a black man punching on an Hispanic woman and Hispanic men standing around watching? Oh, you can't? Okay. Well, what about an Asian? You can't? Okay. What about a white? You can't? No, you can't. You cannot imagine that. under any circumstance. So, where do these black dudes come from? Now I understand some of you black dudes out there, you don't like black women, you know, you're mad at black. I said mainly because you just don't deserve respect. I don't know what happened to you, but I didn't have the greatest relationship with my mother either, but I would never disown an entire group of women based on my experience with one woman, two women, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20. I just wouldn't do that. I'm not that big of a fool to think that only black women are capable of breaking my heart. Because that's what it comes down to, really. Get your heart broken. Or perhaps your heart never had a chance to get broken by a black woman because or a black girl because they just didn't like you. For whatever reason, they just didn't like you. And that's okay, it's not your fault. Because everybody have different tastes, right? It's not your fault they didn't like you. Unless you actually went out of your way to not be likable. And that's different. But still, I just can't imagine you, Mr. Black Man, being alive in this world with millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of black women all over the place. And you just can't find one. Even if you are the worst of the worst, you can find one. Because there's somebody for everybody. So what this boils down to, perhaps, is just good old-fashioned self-hate disguised as awareness. That's what a lot of them try to act like they just aware, I just see it, like, look how they act, and they take these isolated cases and use those as examples of why they don't like women, why they don't date. But they don't ever go and take the examples of the black women that we all see out there who are shining examples of womanhood.
Hello, my name is Adam Ferrari, the Chief Executive Officer of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to you joining us at our next investor webinar.
That first $10,000 you accumulate will be the hardest money you ever save. And I don't care what you have to do to get it. If it means walking everywhere and eating nothing that wasn't purchased with a coupon, find a way to get your hands on that first pile of capital. Here's what nobody tells you about crossing that threshold. Something fundamental shifts in your psychology. Money stops controlling you, and you start controlling money. Getting together, even $10,000 from a standing start at zero, remains a long struggle for most people. But the ones who reach this milestone quickly share three traits. They're passionate about being rational, very eager and opportunistic, and they steadily underspend their income grossly. That last word matters because I don't mean slightly, and I don't mean modestly, grossly. What I'm going to explain today is why this initial accumulation changes everything, why the mathematics of compound interest ranks among the most valuable models on Earth, and why the psychological transformation that occurs when you have capital ends up worth more than the capital itself. Most people have this backwards because they think the point of getting rich is buying things like Ferraris, fancy houses, and status symbols that impress strangers. That's not the point at all, and the real point of getting wealthy is independence. The point is, so you don't have to need other people, so you don't have to get along with people you don't want to get along with, and so you can walk away from any deal, any job, or any situation that doesn't serve you. I didn't intend to get rich because what I wanted was independence, and I just overshot. That distinction between wanting riches and wanting independence marks the difference between a life of quiet desperation and a life of actual freedom. Let me show you how this works. Consider a man at age 29 who just went through a divorce, lost nearly everything, including the family home, moved into what can only be described as dreadful bachelor quarters, and drove an awful yellow Pontiac around town. His young daughter once asked him why he drove such a terrible car, and his answer revealed everything about his psychology. He told her it was to discourage gold diggers. Here's a man who had nothing and was already thinking about protecting whatever he might accumulate in the future. No feeling sorry for himself, no blaming his ex-wife or the economy or his bad luck. Just a mind already positioned for the next phase. 2 years later, at age 31, this same man buried his 9-year-old son who died of leukemia. No health insurance existed to help him, so he paid all the medical expenses out of pocket. A friend recalled watching him hold his dying child, then go out walking the streets crying. At 31 years old, he was divorced, broke, and burying his child. What matters now is what you do with that kind of devastation, because life will deliver terrible blows. Horrible blows that are completely unfair, and it doesn't matter if you're a good person or a smart person or a hard-working person. The terrible blows come anyway, and some people recover while others don't. This man's approach proved instructive because he later explained his philosophy. Every missed chance in life was an opportunity to behave well. Every missed chance in life was an opportunity to learn something. And your duty was not to be submerged in self-pity, but to utilize the terrible blow in constructive fashion. He kept going and remarried, raising 8 children along the way. By the time he was 38, he had accumulated roughly $300,000 in assets, which represented about 10 years of family living expenses. That foundation enabled him to start his own law firm and his own investment partnership in the same year. His partnership returned 37% annually before fees, and he eventually became a billionaire. But here's the critical insight. The path from broke and burying his son to billionaire started with the decision to keep accumulating capital no matter what. Not because he wanted to be rich, but because he wanted to never be dependent again. He found it undignified to have to send invoices to other people, and he found it undignified to need anyone. He didn't know where he got that notion from, but he had it. If you have to walk through the streets crying for a few hours a day as part of the soldiering crew, go ahead and cry away. But you can't quit, and that's what matters. You can cry, but you can't quit. Let me explain why the first $10,000 is disproportionately difficult and disproportionately important. Getting wealthy works like rolling a snowball, and it helps to start on top of a long hill. Start early and try to roll that snowball for a very long time, because it helps to live a long life. $0 in the bank means that saving $1,000 represents infinite mathematical progress, but very little practical progress. That $1,000 sitting in an account, earning even 10% annually, which is optimistic, gives you $100 a year. That's $8 a month, and that changes nothing about your life. When $10,000 earns 10%, you get $1,000. And while that's still not life-changing, your money is now doing work equivalent to a part-time